afternoon, everyone. My name is Katie Never. I am the exercise physiologist with the UR Medicine Employee Wellness Programs. I see a lot of familiar faces. Well, not faces, but names, because you're all muted. But I run all of the exercise and movement aspects of our wellness programs. So I've seen a lot of you in some other programs and coaching. Today, we're going to be talking about getting outside in the winter. The winter is the longest month, or the longest month. Wow, the longest season. The longest season in Western New York, in the Rochester area. And how do we enjoy it? Rochester is one of the grayest places in the United States. Our average is much lower than the national average for sunny days. So if you can get outside today, as you can see, I have my windows open to let the sun in and enjoy it, because those are few and far in between. So why don't we get started? So what we're going to talk about today: how to stay warm, how to have fun in the winter and fun outside, and most importantly, how to stay safe. So I want to open this up to everyone. What is your relationship with winter, especially in this area? I'm a winter baby. My birthday's in January. I grew up just south of the Adirondack Mountains. So winter is long for us. It usually starts in October and ends in early April. So it's a long one. It's a doozy. So you learn to love it. So let's take a look. Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got everyone kind of across the board. We've got some winter lovers, but we've got the majority. It's complicated. You want to like winter, but you're unsure. So this is actually a great time to go through this. And also on one of the coldest days. So speaking of cold, how do we dress? How do we dress for those winter activities? So there are many different ways to kind of do this. Really, when it's chilly, you want to think of your trunk area. So your neck and below is where your organs are, where we want to keep the heat and really protect. So on chilly days, you want to do 1 to 2 layers. Light layers, like today I'm wearing a thin base layer that's a wool blend to show you, as well as my hat. But you want to think lighter layers and 1 to 2 layers to keep yourself warm. You want a long layer on the bottom and maybe even an outer layer to keep away from the wind. When it gets colder, you really want to think about covering your head, keeping it nice and warm. We lose a lot of heat out of our head. So it's really important. Our head and our feet, we want to keep as warm as possible. So with dressing for a colder day, that would be, I would say between 40 and a little below freezing. So a little bit below 32, I would say would be cold, in my opinion, but everyone is different. You'll have 3 layers on. You'd have a nice thin base layer, a mid layer, which is going to be heavier and maybe even have some nice fleece on the inside, and then a jacket. You want to think of gloves. Gloves or mittens. Mittens are going to keep you warmer, but you're not going to have the dexterity. And then 2 layers for your pants. Again, thinking of a thin base layer, like long underwear, and then another pair of pants. You want to keep the wind out. That's really important. So think of that when you're thinking of your hat, your outer layers. And most importantly, you want those winter boots that are waterproof or water resistant. In the extreme cold, if anyone went out this morning, it was beautiful outside. And I looked at the temperature and it said 5 degrees. So I actually did take a nice little walk this morning because it's clear out in my area. There's snow, but the roads are clear and safe. So I wanted to go for a little walk. I bundled up. I had a nice warm hat that covered my ears, covered my forehead. That's the nice thing about COVID right now, is that we have to wear a face mask. So outside, the face mask actually keeps us really warm and protected. You want to think of insulating layers. So again, that mid layer, I would say 3 layers. If you're putting on more than 3 layers, you're gonna really be immobile. But think about that again, that light layer, that light base layer you want touching the skin. And again, if it's really extreme cold, I would choose the mittens over gloves. You can even get liners for your mittens. So it's like a very thin glove, and then put your mittens on for even more warmth. And we'll continue on with that. Oh, also, just a side note, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. I will look at them and answer them at the end while I show you some fun winter stuff. So, words of the wise. We went over those cold weather, how to dress. You want to layer up. You want to allow for a change in temperature. It was 5 degrees this morning. Right now, it's 25. It's 25 degrees. So I know it doesn't sound like a big difference, but it actually is, and especially when the sun is out. You want to really think of wool. Wool is wise. Wool is temperature regulating. So even in hot days, it keeps that body temperature at a base level. So for example, if you're cold or you're shivering, it's going to keep you warm. If you're hot and sweaty, it's going to wick the moisture away from your skin. So socks and base layers are really key with this. I'll be showing you a couple of those at the end, but they're thin. Wool is not the itchy wool that you think of your grandmother knitting you a really itchy sweater. There are wool and poly blends that are really soft and actually really thin. Personally, I wear wool socks all year round when I am out hiking or trail running, because they actually wick the moisture away. If I run in a gully or I'm crossing and I hit water in the summer, that sock will just suck the water right away from my skin and keep me dry and comfortable. Speaking of which, cotton is rotten. We really don't want to wear cotton, especially close to our skin when we're going outside. Even though it's cold, we still sweat when we're active. We'll still, get nice and warm when you're walking up a hill or when you're skiing or anything along those lines. Cotton doesn't absorb. So with that being said, if it's touching your skin, it gets wet, your skin stays wet, and then you cool down and it gets very cold. Now, that's not to say that after you warm up, putting on cotton is one of my favorite things to do. A nice big cotton sweatshirts, nice cozy socks after you're nice and warm from being outside is wonderful. But if you're outside and you're working up a sweat and your temperature is changing, stay away from the cotton. Dress for the wind. The wind is really crucial. It's not really so much the temperature as the wind chill. So making sure that you can block the wind with, like I said, those outer layers you want. So be mindful of your pants, your jackets, your gloves even. Be really mindful of blocking that wind from you. Even your face covering is really helpful. Be seen. So bold and bright colors that allow you to stand out. We are blessed with a very sunny day today. We've been blessed with that for a couple weeks now, which is quite rare in Rochester. So usually we have those cloudy, monochromatic days. We have clouds, the gray clouds, the white snow, the gray asphalt. It's very easy to blend in if you're wearing gray or black. So wear those bright colors, they'll stand out. Or wear reflective gear, which we'll go over in a little bit. Stay on your feet. Proper traction is super important. So when you're looking at the bottom of your shoe or your boots, make sure that they have a thick traction to them, that there's a lot of like crevices, nooks and crannies in the tread of those shoes. If not, there are traction devices that you can use, especially during icy times, to help reduce any falling risks or anything along those lines and keep you stable. And importantly, wear your sunscreen. I wear sunscreen every day, 365. It's when it's winter, the sun is closer, and also the snow is reflective, so it'll bounce back and it'll hit you. So if you ever notice that you do get sunburn pretty quickly in the winter because it's reflecting back up at you. So make sure that you're wearing a sunscreen and be really mindful of that. Okay, so the important part, how to enjoy it, how to get out and be active. What can you do? You can take a hike. There are wonderful parks to take a hike in that are very well managed and well groomed. You can hit the slopes. I know it's slim pickings in this area. I grew up near the Adirondacks, but they are out there. There's little hills out there as well in Sodus. There's Swain, there's Bristol, and there's Holiday Valley, all really fun places to go. Utilize those hills and go sledding. Find your long lost childhood. There are amazing sled hills around the area. You can get on the ice. The Finger Lakes themselves don't usually, well, the Great Lake itself doesn't usually ice over, but there are plenty of little lakes that you can go ice fishing, ice skating, you can play hockey, or even go for a bike ride. I don't recommend you taking your road bike out.
Broken since Thanksgiving Day.
I do recommend that you
When they told me,
a mountain bike or a fat tire bike.
A millennium.
And with that being
before
said,
I could get a
you want to make
dishwasher.
sure that that
So
has
all
a
the
good
Thanksgiving
tread,
dishes.
Oh,
and
Thanksgiving, and it's the second time in my
want to make
life
sure
that's
that
happened.
has a good
Oh my God,
tread
that's a rare one.
and
Yeah.
has the ability to get through ice and get through snow.
Thank you.
Thank
If
you.
someone has their phone on, can they please mute themselves, please? Thank you. Okay, signs of hypothermia. So this is all too common. When we think of summer, we think of sunstroke and heat exhaustion. When we think of winter, we want to think of signs of hypothermia. Hypothermia can come on pretty quickly. You want to, if you're often confused, shivering, you can have difficulty speaking. If you find that you're slurring your words or having trouble finding your words, sleepiness and stiff muscles. These are all signs of hypothermia. So be really mindful when you are outside and outside for long periods of time. Ice safety. So if you are one that likes the ice, if you want to try ice fishing or ice skating or playing hockey out on some open water, you want to be really mindful of ice in the thickness. Ideally, you want ice to be at least 5 inches thick. You never want to drive out on ice, regardless of how thick it is in a car or any sort of automobile. But 5 inches or thicker is what you really want to test. And be mindful of cracks and crevices. You can hear the ice as well, so be really mindful of that. In many parks where there is lakes or ponds, they will have it posted if it's safe to go on, or if it's not, please listen to them. They check those daily, and it's crucial. So staying safe and being seen, both important, being stable and being seen. You want to wear those bold, bright clothing, and you can even wear reflection. It's, you know, the days are getting longer, which is great, but early in the winter, it's dark, it's pretty dark. And even on those cloudy days, you may not be able to be seen as well. So wearing those bold, bright colors that you don't really find in nature are really helpful. Also reflective gear, which I'll show you in a bit. It's icy. Winter brings ice, especially when the sun comes out. The snow starts melting into water, and then that water turns to ice. We want to make sure that we have proper traction devices. So with that being said, if you need a little bit of extra for your traction, if you're taking the dog out for a walk or just going out for a walk by yourself, or going for a hike and it's iced over, which is really common come late February, early March, they make devices that slip right on your shoes, whether they're your hiking boots, your running shoes, trail shoes, whatever you wear, they slip right on and they help the metal actually clamps onto the icy conditions. So you can get them that are pretty intense, like micro spikes, or you can get ones that are pretty mild for walking just on pavement. That might be kind of icy. And then your own personal safety. So whenever you're going outside, regardless of the season, you want to tell someone. You want to let them know where you're going and when you plan to return. You want to stay visible, no matter the season. You want to wear reflective gear and bright colors. Use your 5 senses when you're exploring outside. It's not just sight, but listen, smell, all of that good stuff. Carry your phone or a tracking device. In the winter, this is a little tricky. So I always like to say for women, actually keep it in your bra. For men, you have these wonderful jackets with inside pockets. Most female jackets do not have pockets on the inside. I don't know why. I really wish they did. But keep it close to your body, as close to your body as possible to keep it warm, because it will shut off if it gets too cold. Dress for the elements. We went over this. Light layers, multiple layers, blocking out that wind for sure. And always be prepared. I'm one of those people that carry an extra blanket and a shovel in my car. I also carry some extra clothes and some dry socks. I use the dry socks, dry warm socks almost every time I go out. I grab them from my car after coming from outside. You'll see me take my wet socks off and put on dry socks, just because it's comfy, and that's where I lose most of my heat, is in my feet. Okay, now where can we go that's local, like real good local places? So Monroe County Parks. Monroe County Parks, they have an amazing website. I highly recommend going there and exploring what they have available. Mendon Ponds Park, MPP, Webster, Tinker, Black Creek, and Durand all have snowshoeing or cross-country ski trails. The Finger Lakes has Harriet Hollister, which this is where that picture was taken. That's my fiance, learning how to snowshoe. And then there's also Cummings Nature Center, which is really beautiful. And where to go sledding or snow tubing. Cobbs Hill Park is one of my favorite places to go. That is a great sledding hill. Mendon Ponds Park has great hills. Greystone is a tubing park that I've had many of my clients go to this year, and they've had an amazing time. You do have to pay for it. But it's a family-owned place, and they're very safe, and you actually sign up for your own appointment. So they're practicing very great techniques. And there's Black Creek Park in Chili as well. Again, a great place to snowshoe or go sledding. And if you just want to take a nice little nature walk, the Lehigh Valley Trail. It's a very large trail. There are plenty of places to park and safely walk. It's a great safe place to be socially distant. It's flat, and it's an old rail trail. So there isn't really too much to trip up on or anything along those lines. And it's just really pretty to explore. So when you have your everyday winter. So to me, those are our weekdays in my eyes. Like yesterday, I don't know, yesterday if you had a lot of shoveling to do, I know I did. You want to, when you're in the snow, in the winter, in the cold, and you're coming back in, you really want to be safe. So if you've taken the dog for a nice walk, or you've gone for a nice walk, you've been out with the kids, you've been shoveling, remember to thaw out. You want to remove those cold, wet clothes. You want to come back to a comfortable temperature before adding sort of any heat to your body, like taking a shower or sitting by the fire. You want to have the blood circulating pretty well before you do those other things. And also, most importantly, really take off those wet clothes, put on some dry clothes, and just relax. Take breaks if you're outside shoveling or outside for longer periods of time with the kids, if you're sledding. Listen to your body and take those breaks. Come back inside. I know it's not the easiest thing to wrangle kids from being outside, but let them take a break if they're going to need it too. And stay hydrated. When it's cold out, we forget that we sweat. It's like being in a pool, we're already wet. We don't realize we're sweating. You want to drink water throughout your activities and afterwards. Here are some great safety resources that I love to check normally. Any sort of weather app. The DEC is a great place to check the emergency alert system, the CDC, and the National Weather System. And then here are some of my favorite resources. Any county parks and recs department. Like I said, Monroe County Park has a great website. It's a little, it's basic, but it's full of information, full of trail maps, full of things to do. All Trails is a free app, and you can see where other people have gone hiking, have gone mountain biking, all of those good things. The state DEC has great resources and great safety tips. And then, of course, you also have those free community apps like Strava and MyFitnessPal, where you can track and your activity and also see other people's activity and find some fun routes. I want you to know we have our March webinar coming up on the 24th with our wonderful nutritionist, Natalie Thompson. And she'll be talking more about a guide to meal planning, which we can all use those great tips. And of course, if you're looking for more information on how to continue to stay well and healthy, pair yourself with a wellness coach, and we will help guide you and help you meet your goals. So I know there are a couple of questions, but I also want to go over some safety devices. So Lindsay, if you could be my moderator and look at those questions, and I'll actually just start kind of getting some gear out. So this is my first most important thing. I want you to stay visible. This is a Zinglet. So this is just a reflection vest and it snaps on. I'm notorious for buying dark colored jackets and dark pants and all of that. This is a great way to stay reflective. Your wool socks. So your wool socks. These are thin. They're thin, but very warm. And of course, not a color found in nature, more of a Dr. Seuss color. But that's how I roll. These are great to keep you nice and warm. Again, they're thin. I wear these throughout the year. You'll see me wearing these in the summer and in the winter. I like higher ones because I pull them up. I usually wear running tights. I pull them up so to keep my legs dry and comfortable. And then
I have a question.
Go ahead, Linz.
How long is it safe to have little kids outside? They never want to come in, and I worry.
I know that is really tough. That is really tough. So, Lindsay, I would love your advice on this one. You have 2 kiddos. I would say, depends on the weather, but I would say 20 minutes to a half an hour. There isn't really too much in terms of guidelines on this, but making sure they take breaks, changing out their mittens, their gloves, making sure that they feel warm. You can even ask them things. So give them the signs of, it sounds really dark and cryptic, but signs of hypothermia. So ask them questions. What are they doing? Do you find that their speech is slurred? Do you find that they're shivering? Look at their lips. Are they, do they feel like they're shivering? Keep that in mind. Lindsay has 2 wonderful boys. Lindsay, how do you get your kiddos inside?
Yeah, it's really hard. I bribed them. No, I listen to them and I take cues from them. Their cheeks get really, really red, and they know when they need to come in because they're cold. So as soon as they're cold, they come inside.
That's actually a great example. If you start to see that your kids are actually very pale or losing color, but their redness in the nose, in the cheeks, that's a sign as well. And also, who doesn't want like hot chocolate or something like that? That always lured me in as a kid, was hot chocolate. So thanks, Lynn. And any other questions?
Not yet.
Okay. One of my other favorite things is if you get too hot when you wear a hat. I'm one of those people, especially if I'm running or if I'm snowshoeing, you warm up very quickly. This is a band, like a headband, and it's got little extra fabric to cover your ears, and it's also brushed with fleece. So you'll find that a lot of your winter stuff that's thinner will be brushed with fleece. So that'll be on your skin and it's nice and warm. Traction devices. So these are the big kahunas. These are micro spikes. As you can see, they have actual legitimate spikes on them. You slip these on your shoes and they're kind of like chains for your shoes, like snow chains that you would have. Another favorite of mine is a buff or a neck gaiter. This is actually a smart wool one, so it's thin wool, very, very soft. This is so multi-purpose. For me, I wear it around my neck. I'll put it up over my face like this. If I'm cold or if someone's coming by, again, this is thin, so it's not regulated and it's not very safe, but it's something. Also, you can put it over your head as well. So you can wear it under your chin and then pull it up. There are a bunch of different ways to use these. Any questions, Lynn?
Yep. What to look for in snowshoes?
Ooh, that's a great question. So actually, I have my snowshoes. So these are my snowshoes. These are actually racing snowshoes. So these are very light and very thin. And they also just have a kind of deep traction right at the ball, the front of the foot. And what you do is you slip your foot right in and then it's kind of like a flip flop. Now, of course, I left my fiance's in the car, which is not very helpful, but his are more hiking. So if you look at this, if you look at the line, for hiking ones, they'll have this tread, this metal tread or some sort of traction along the sides as well. So your foot is a little bit more flat and stable. So you'll find that in hiking ones, they'll have more of this traction device. And you can find, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Really, you go by height and weight. And that's pretty much it when it comes to snowshoes. With that being said, Cummings Nature Center actually rents snowshoes. They're in Naples. It's a great little weekend trip or day trip, not a weekend trip, a day trip. On a nice day, you can go and you can rent snowshoes and they'll show you how to use them. There are places in the Adirondacks that will do that as well. Also, your ski places will often have snowshoe rentals that you can use on their Nordic trails. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I know I threw a lot of information at you. Most importantly to remember is stay stable, make sure you have proper traction, stay seen, make sure you have reflective gear, bright, bold colors, make sure you're wearing plenty of layers, keep that wool close to your skin to keep it temperature regulating. And most importantly, have fun, enjoy it, do something that you enjoy. If you're warm and comfortable, you're gonna enjoy it even more. So make the most of this. And one thing I always like to tell people, if you're sick of winter and need some extra oxygen and some greenery, the Lamberton Conservatory in Highland Park is a wonderful place to go to beat those winter blues. But for the most part, get outside, be safe, be seen, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.